Hey everybody, welcome to In the Woods today, and join me as today I fish a childhood memory. I'm going to somewhere that I've fished a lot of times in my youth, and I've spent a lot of hours looking at this specific body of water and thinking about all kinds of things over the years. So let's go check it out. Let's go see what's going on over there. All right everybody, this is it. This is the glorious pond, affectionately referred to by me and some of my friends as Dink Lake. All we ever caught were little dinky fish here, and never really caught any big ones. And then all of a sudden one day I caught a really big one here, and well, the crappies this time of year should be spawning. There's some down timber somewhere over here, and I'm gonna see if I can't get those crappies to bite. So let's see if we can just get a few casts out there, get a feel for the fish, see what the body of water is doing, take a look for some forage and minnows, and see what we can do there. Considering the time of year it is, and that a lot of these fish are pre-spawn right now, the bass and the crappies and the bluegills are all pre-spawn right now. Crappies might even be finding their beds, so I'm gonna fish the old faithful bait for me. As you can see, it's disgusting. It's in this bag for a reason. It is the Gulp 1-inch minnow. It's notorious on YouTube for catching fish no matter what, even when your water is dirty, stinky, brown, gross. But it works, so we're gonna use it. We're just gonna thread that on this little 1/16 ounce pink jig head. Pink with a natural color Gulp minnow. This 1-inch Gulp minnow, I believe the color is called Emerald Shiner. That's what it looks like. Nice flippy little tail. Let's wash all that gross gunk off our hands and get fishing. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. It's raining while the sun's out. I absolutely love that. So pretty. Look I went to wash my hands, and I saw that there's a crankbait stuck here in these sticks. Let's see if we can get this out of there without going over my boots. It's weird that there's no hooks in it. Golly, I sure hope the fish didn't break those hooks off in his mouth. Huh. It looks pretty old. Let's get this trash out of here. All right, now this pond is shaped like a big bowl. There's no major features or drop-offs. It's all just kind of one big bowl. And the center is about 18 feet deep, and the edges usually aren't anything more than 3 to 4. I'm gonna start casting at about 4 to 3 feet under my bobber and just kind of gauge out and see if there's any fish out there willing to bite. Hopefully y'all can see that bobber out there. Just kind of doing some vertical jigging. That Gulp minnow really does the work itself. The scent that they put on that power bait Gulp minnow works really good. It attracts fish in, and they come and check it out, and then when they smell it, they tend to bite it. I'd catch a lot of fish on those 1-inch Gulp minnows, and they're relatively cheap. I think it's a jar of 50 to 60 something. I can't remember. I think it's a jar of 50, and that jar of 50 lasts a long time. They work for all different kinds of species. I've caught trout, bluegill, shellcracker, bass, perch, even a pike on it before. So give those 1-inch Gulp minnows a try. That's a easy key to success for me. It's really early in the year right now, but give it about 3 or 4 weeks, and all of this area that I'm standing in will be filling in with lily pads. Oh, there's a stick I just got stuck on. This pond is so shallow and clear that I can see almost 10-20 feet out to where the actual depth change is, and I don't see anything over here, so we're going to move it around to the other side of the lake. We're going to go right over there. Oh, I can see a bunch of little minnows moving right here on this log. So that's a good indication that this 1-inch gulp minnow will work. I'm sure there's a predatory fish or a bass or something hanging around just waiting for one of these minnows to swim too far off this bank. And it's going to be my minnow that swims too far off this bank. Oh, I might have got a bite. Yep, that's a bite for sure. Is that a crappie? Let me tighten my drag just a little bit and change your depth. Looks like it's just a little too deep right there. Yep, that's right where them crappies were spawning. I think it was 2 years ago I was here. The crappies were spawning. They were heavy right here. There was 30 or 40 of them piled up on beds. There's some vegetation. There's a downed tree that's in there. And it's really the only major feature around this whole bank of this pond is this one downed tree that's sitting here in the water. And those crappies really like to gravitate towards that depth change and having cover nearby. Wonder if it's just a bluegill pecking at me. There are a lot of bluegill in this little pond. Most of them average about 5 to 6 inches. They're pretty overpopulated, but a lot of the bass in here will eat bluegill. So if you come here when bass season opens up, that's really fun, fishing with live bluegills here for bass. Well, the rain let up, but I still haven't really seen any fish moving or biting. I'm just going to keep on moving down the bank. One of my key tactics for breaking down these small ponds is to find a feature. Well, this pond is generally featureless. It's shaped like a bowl. There's no real sudden depth change anywhere. It's all gradual. So the thing that I focus on then is some kind of a secondary feature. And sometimes when you move around the bank, you'll find different features available. For instance, this one has more brush and trees sticking out over the water. It can create shade and create different vegetation. There's actually less vegetation and algae over here, and it's mostly just sandy bottom, which is clearer, and I'm hoping will give the fish the ability to see my lure better, and maybe we'll get a better bite. So we are currently in that sandy area, and I can cast really far here because of the casting zone. So let's see if we can't get one way out there. Oh yeah, that's a good cast. Now these fish do get pretty decent amount of pressure on them. It's a small pond. Obviously it's in a neighborhood. There's people's houses that butt up around it. But this whole side of the pond, about 3/4 of the pond, is public land for a walking trail that butts up to it. And there's fishing access here. About half of what I see people casting here are big bobbers with a hook full of night crawlers. And you know, that works really good, and I still use night crawlers and bobbers sometimes. But something I've noticed is that at this particular pond, they don't see a lot of lures. If they do, it's like a crankbait or some kind of a hard bait. They don't see a lot of soft plastics here. I don't see other people fish with swim baits. I don't see other people fishing with, you know, a little gulp minnow setup like I've got here. So these fish get a decent amount of pressure, but they get pressured with the same things kind of often. And so what I like to do is, if I'm going to use lures instead of live bait, I like to use something that maybe they haven't seen. We're going to try and get a cast over in this little lagoon area. Sometimes they hang out on that shallow edge there. Right about where I'm at is the depth change in this area. Surprised I haven't seen a single fish. I haven't seen any bluegill swimming. I just seen all them little minnows. I'm wondering if maybe the fish are on beds over here on the edge of the lagoon. That's the next place we're gonna walk to if we don't get a bite. It's so beautiful. You can see right to the bottom. The water here is so clear. And since I'm able to see right to the bottom, I can see that there are literally no fish on this bank line. There's like none. They must all be deeper still, waiting for that water to warm up. That's what I'd imagine. Either that or they've already found the bank line that they want to spawn on, the crappies, and the bluegill will move that way earlier in the year. But the bass are still pre-spawn. I'd imagine the bass are still swimming around in the deep trying to... Oh, I got a fish on, guys. I got a fish. Oh, gosh. Oh, is it a good one? He's pulling. Is it a bluegill? I got to tighten my drag. He's pulling so good. Oh, it's pulling good. What is it? Oh, it's a bluegill. It's a bluegill, you guys. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Nice bluegill. There we go. On 3-pound test. Big, beautiful bluegill. That's a female. Pretty sure it's a female. No big ear tab. Kind of a peachish belly. Wow, she's fired up. She's a big one. See if I can't get a good look at you. Come on, girl. You're going to be on YouTube. All right. Let's get the release on camera. She's off in a hurry. Well, we found the fish. They're definitely still out deeper. The bluegill haven't come in shallow yet, so we're going to keep casting at that area where that one bit, and that one bit after I popped the bobber. So it's another vertical jigging technique. Basically what you do is you keep your rod tip lower to the water and tighten up your slack line, and then what you do is kind of like you would do with a jerkbait. You're going to give it a pop, and you'll see that bobber jump aggressively about a foot, and you'll let that minnow underneath, that jig head, excuse me, will swing underneath and just slowly swing up underneath that bobber. And that's really the motion that they're looking for. They see that big swing and they just want to hit it. So what I'm going to do is keep casting to that depth and keep doing the same thing and see if I can't get another bite. Let's get one way out there. There we go. It's right about where that bluegill was. It could have just been one aggressive bluegill that wanted to eat a minnow, but bluegills are generally a schooling fish, unless they're on beds, and even then they do like to bed relatively near each other in pods, from my experience and what I've seen and noticed. So I'm gonna assume that the bluegill were kind of over there together hanging out. I'm going to shallow up just a little bit. We're going to bring it to about 3 feet instead of 4. Get a little better casting distance. Maybe they're coming up to bite it. That's what I want to figure out is... Oh, there's some thunder. I want to know if they're coming up to bite it or if they're just sitting on the bottom and want it to float past them. Not skunked, you guys, not skunked. We caught a fish today. And that was a nice bluegill. That was probably a good 6-7 inch bluegill. Had good fight to him. They had this 3-pound line. It's just real fun fighting these fish on an ultralight on 3-pound line. They sure get fired up easy and start pulling in this colder water still. And when they're pre-spawn and they're looking for food, they really like to get moving around and looking for it. They don't sit stationary like they do a lot in the wintertime, where they'll sit in the same flat for, you know, a month just eating bugs, not trying to move much, conserving energy. Now this water's warming up. These fish are moving around. They're looking for the food. Oh, I got a bite and I missed him. There's one, guys. There's one. Oh, I missed him. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's another bluegill. It's another bluegill. He's fighting hard. Oh, yeah. Here he comes. Swing him in here. We're going to have to get the net out. These guys are getting... There we go. I can't reach as far as they are. In the net. That's a nice bluegill too. Man, if I was keeping today, these two bluegill I've caught would have made a decent little meal for myself. Maybe catch a third. That'd be a nice meal for somebody. Yep, another big female. Oh no, this one's a male. See the big ear tab? So I'm not making any guarantees, but you see the big ear tab right here and this kind of scrunched forehead. That's how I can tell that that's a male. Beautiful fish. Let's let him go. And off he goes. I'm gonna watch where he goes. He's gonna go back to his school. I can see him, he's moving right there. And now he's hooking left, so the school is probably that way. So I'm gonna cast back to where he went and see if I can't catch his great grandpa. Perfect. That's right where he swam back to. Now that last one, I didn't have to move the bobber or anything. I literally stopped paying attention and all of a sudden he bit. So maybe the bluegill are just kind of roaming and they're looking for a bite. Cast back to where I caught that last one. It's definitely some odd fishing conditions. The rain is on and off. Oh, look it, there's a school of fish right here. Can you guys see that in the water? I'm gonna cast right in front of them. I don't know what they are. Yep, my bobber landed right in front of them. There's a school of fish heading that way. Oh, they're racing for it. Do you guys see that? I can't tell what they are still. There's a sun glare right there. They definitely stopped for a second and looked at it. Oh, they're chasing it. I'm gonna be able to see what they are. Oh, I got him. Oh yes, it's another bluegill and he's decent. Oh, he's jumping. Oh, he got off. No, he got off when he jumped. That's all right, that's all right. Now I know the bluegill are schooled up and they're looking for bait. I watched that fish follow up. I can still see him. I'm gonna try again. They wanted the bait to be moving, so I'm gonna slowly reel in my gulp minnow. Oh, I missed that one. He had a bite though. I'm gonna cast right back to him. He felt the hook, but there was two other ones there next to him that didn't seem to spook off when I set into him. So we're gonna drop that bobber, see if we can't make them swim up off the bottom a little bit, and then they'll kind of compete with each other that way. They like to chase to the bait, and then whoever's the bravest bites first. But if you can get that bait comfortable enough for multiple fish to come after, then you can get the big ones to bite, just because the little ones are chasing the bait around. I've actually caught the same fish twice doing that technique. You just get the other ones to chase it, and they get that schooling mentality going on and that feeding mentality, and then the next thing you know, you're catching the big ones because the little ones are chasing everything. And they're still in this same general area. You notice how the fish haven't really moved off now that they found bait, and I got a couple of bites. They're not moving around. They think that they found a bait pod, or they think that there's food here, so they're kind of stationary and giving it just a minute. All right, last few casts here. I moved down just a little bit. I saw a school of fish moving over here. I couldn't tell if they were crappies or bluegill, but I'd like to catch one more before I gotta leave. Just one more. All right, we're gonna move just one more time. I don't have any more time. This is the last place we can fish. Oh, that's a good sign. There's lots of minnows right here. They're all moving off the bank. See, as I walk towards them, they're all moving off the bank. If we can find a majority of bait, then we can find the majority of the fish. see a large pot of bluegill out there right now. They're in really shallow water though. They must be up here trying to get these minnows. Oh, I got a bluegill looking at it. Let's go right in front of his face. Bluegills are swimming away. Oh, he's turning. He's coming for it, guys. He's gonna hit it. He's gonna hit it. Oh, is that not a bass? Dude, that might just be a big crappie. Oh, but that's a bass though. He's racing for it. There's a bunch of them. Bunch of bass. They all seen the movement and they came in. All right, let's get one of them then. Let's just put it right in front of them and leave it there. There's about 7 bass right there. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, I missed him. No! 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 Oh, my drag was too loose. I think it was a good bass. At least 2-pounder. Oh, that's disappointing. I blew it. I had a bite and I blew it. All right, last cast. Can I catch a fish? I just wanted one more fish before I leave. Oh, I got a fish. I did it! Oh, it's a bluegill. Oh, he's fighting hard. Oh, look at him getting to the top. Oh, he's fighting. Come on up here. Come on up here. There we go. One last fish on the day. Look at that, hooked just in front of the eye on the side of the mouth. It's in a tough plate. There we go. Oh, see you later, buddy. He's out of here. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Ring that bell so you get notifications every time I get a new video out. Trying to upload as often as possible. Any likes, comments, or shares are greatly appreciated. And to those OG subscribers, y'all know who you are. Appreciate it. Want to give a quick subscriber shout out to Austin. Austin, this one's for you, buddy.